Welcome to another Nintendo Switch video on the channel. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button for everything Nintendo Switch. If you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button and sharing this video out onto social networking platforms. It really does go a long way to help a small channel like this one. So what I want to talk about in this video is actually a question which I answered wrong in my last Q&A, and it came in from Mark Porch. So pretty much he was saying about that supplementary computing device that Nintendo filed a patent for quite a while ago now. I did actually make a video talking about that at the time. Well, since that video, Nintendo actually won that patent. That patent actually cleared. So in this video, I want to talk about the possibility of us getting a Nintendo Switch hardware upgrade in the future. So I think that this patent will actually happen. I don't think it will happen soon. I think maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, I think that is when it will happen. So I think there are question marks at this moment in time on how powerful the Switch will be. We don't know whether the dock will be used to add more power to the tablet. Most of the components are inside the tablet. We don't know whether there is a GPU or a CPU or more RAM, any of that sort of stuff in the dock itself. So we are questioning how powerful the Switch will be. There are some people saying it will be less powerful than the Xbox One. You got others saying that it will be in between the Xbox One and PS4. We just don't know at this moment in time, and we won't know until like next year pretty much, because Nintendo said that they will not be giving any information on the specs until January at the earliest. They said not until 2017. So there are question marks there. If the Switch is as powerful as the systems out there, then I think it is pretty much guaranteed that the Switch will hopefully get some third-party support until the PS5 and the Xbox 2 comes out, which I don't think will be that soon, just because you got the Scorpio and you got the PS4 Pro. Now, those two systems are not really next generation systems. They are upgrades, but third party developers, they have to develop for the original consoles as well. So that might mean that the Switch will have quite a long time in terms of third party support until the PS5 and the Xbox 2 comes out. But when they do come out, Nintendo, with this supplemental computing device pattern, they could release a hardware upgrade, like a little box that plugs into your dock. Or what they could do is release a new dock entirely. So like if this dock doesn't have any CPU or GPU, then maybe they could release a dock in the future that does actually have a CPU and GPU, and when added to the tablet's CPU and GPU, it means that the console itself, like the TV experience, will be a lot more powerful than what it was before. So maybe Nintendo could do this to future-proof the Switch, and I would be totally on board with that. I'd be more on board with them doing a new dock upgrade, maybe for £100, $100, maybe £150 at the most. I wouldn't be prepared to pay the price of a brand new system like what Sony are doing and what probably Microsoft will do with the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio. I think if Nintendo did release a new dock for £100, that would be a great way for Nintendo to future-proof the system, and it would be a great way for us to actually get a more powerful system with like more enemies on screen, more textures, better graphics. It would be a great way for us to hopefully get more third-party support in the future as well. I'm more on board with that than Nintendo doing a Nintendo Switch XL where you got more power in the system. Like the tablets are bigger, you got the Joy-Cons there bigger as well, and you got a new dock in there as well. But if you want that, then you have to go out and pick up a brand new system. That's just my fear that Nintendo will do, because obviously they're not going to be doing another handheld. Well, I say that because apparently there are rumours saying that Nintendo have said that the Switch is a home console, a Wii U successor, but there's going to be a 3DS replacement coming in the future, which I probably will talk about in another video. But yeah, I'll be more on board with Nintendo releasing a new dock than Nintendo just releasing like a new Nintendo Switch, which is kind of like the new 3DS with better specs in there. I think the only problem with the Switch having a hardware upgrade is that developers will still have to develop for obviously the launch Switch. They don't know how many people will upgrade to the Switch, and obviously these people out there that might not necessarily be able to afford to be able to go out and pick up a new dock upgrade. Maybe there might be a situation kind of like with the PS4 Pro where original Switch games will run poorer because um, they don't have the new hardware upgrade. What I mean by that, I'm going to explain that a little bit more. So say like if the hardware upgrade does come out and it is a new dock, maybe you got a game that comes out that takes advantage of that new hardware upgrade, but if you play it on a launch Switch, then it might run poorly. That situation might happen as well, but I definitely think it is a good way to future-proof the Switch, and I think it will happen. We've seen a lot of Nintendo patents that they have filed recently happen with the Switch, so I think this is definitely another patent which will come true. Might not necessarily be for the first couple of years, but I could definitely see it happening in the Switch's lifetime. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Would you be on board with going out and picking up a new dock, or maybe a box that plugs into the dock? I think for me, I prefer it. I prefer it to be a new dock, just because I don't really have that much room to have a dock and another box on there, as well as my capture card and my PS4 as well. So I prefer it to be a new dock. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. But until next time, I'm out of here for now. Goodbye.